Good morning, everyone. My name is Joe Butler. I'm from Prescription Fitness, and I want to take a few minutes today to talk to you a little bit about your food journal, why to have a food journal, and how to record in a food journal. The first thing it does for you is it creates awareness. Most people have no idea how many calories they're putting in their body or what they total up to on a daily basis. So by recording the numbers and the foods that you eat on a daily basis, you have an awareness of what you're putting in your body. The second big thing that it gives you an advantage of is it allows you to budget for how many calories and how many grams of carbohydrates and proteins that you want to take in on a daily basis. Okay, so that's the second factor. The third factor is it gives you accountability. So reaching your goals is going to be dependent upon setting a budget for yourself and being accountable to that budget. Okay, so if it's for yourself or for somebody that you're working with or training with, that's going to give them that accountability. And from our standpoint, as a personal training team, it definitely keeps you accountable, and we can manipulate and keep you on track going to your goals. Going forward, we are going to put together an online system where anybody in any place in the country or out of the country will be able to use our services and have us review their food on a daily basis so that we can keep you on track for your goals. The best way to record your food is a system we've developed over the last decade or so. And what we want to do now is show you how to do it. This is the food journal that we've developed over the last 10 years. Now, this food journal is based off something I learned from some of the top professionals when I lived in California. This is a little bit of an example of how I record my food on a daily basis. I do it in my journal, but this is where it was developed from. Okay, so we're always recording. I have to record on a daily basis my totals, my different goals going forward. So let me show you how that translates into our food journal. Let's start with how to record your food. So let's go to a typical day. There's a couple things that we're going to want to record. One is what it was you ate. Then we're going to want to know when you ate it. Okay? There's some numbers that we're going to need to capture. How many grams of carbohydrates, how many grams of protein, the numbers of fat, and your total calories for each food group. What we're going to do is write down, for example, oatmeal, 25 grams of carbohydrates, 6 proteins, 2 fats, total of 145 total calories for the oatmeal. I also had 1 scoop of protein with that. Now my protein powder has 2 grams of carbohydrates, 25 proteins, there's no fats there, and there's 120 calories. Okay, so what I like to do on the time is at the end of each fueling or meal, I put a little line so I know that's the end of that time period. Okay, and so for each thing that we're going to go through, I had an apple as a snack at about 10 a.m. 22 grams of carbohydrates, no proteins or fats, 80 total calories. Put a little line there. That's the end of that fueling. For lunch, I had 4 ounces of chicken, no carbohydrates, 25 grams of protein, 3 fats, 130 total calories. And we also had some brown rice. 42 grams of carbohydrates, 4 proteins, 1 fat, 190 calories. So you kind of get the idea of how we're doing it here. So after the end of each day, what we're going to do is we're going to total up each column. We're going to total up each column so we have that day's totals. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to transfer over the grams of carbohydrates and the grams of protein over to our weekly totals. So carbohydrates for that day and proteins. Okay, so that's our daily intake. Now that's also our weekly average here is also the same because it's our first day, and it's also our average for the week so far because we divide that by 1. Now on day 2, let's say you've taken 150 grams of carbohydrates and 115 proteins. We're going to add this number into the number from the day before. Now our total now for the week is 314 grams of carbohydrates, 221 grams of protein. So now we're going to divide that by 2 because we've had 2 days. So our average so far for the week is 157 grams of carbohydrates and 111 proteins. So you're going to continue this on Wednesday. We'll add that into the totals and divide by 3. Then Thursday totals, added in the week's totals, and then we're going to divide that number by 4, and so on until we get to the end of the week. Okay? Another thing you can do here, which I highly suggest, is to write down other goals. A good goal for cardiovascular is 3 times per week. So I transfer that number down here, And then what I like to do is put circles on the days when I plan on doing it. So on Monday, let's say you did 30 minutes of cardio. Okay, so we're going to put that right there. Okay. Lifting. Let's say we want to lift a minimum of 3 times a week for your program. So let's say that we want to do this on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So when we come to one of our circles here where we want to do that activity, we're going to make a little note. So let's say we did upper body on Tuesdays. Okay, and you can put any goals you want there. Let's say you wanted to take a minimum of 8 glasses of water in a day. So we're going to transfer this back down to our number 3 goal. And then what we're going to do is our days totals and then our weeks totals. So let's say we did 8 on Monday and 8 total for the week. And then let's say we did 8 again on Tuesday. We reach our daily goal. So for a total of 16 here on for the week after Tuesday. Okay, but you can put any goals you want that fit your overall big picture goal as we're recording. Okay, there's a couple places where you want to look up the information. The easiest place to do it is on the label of the package. Every food that you're going to eat has a nutrition label on it. So you can read that. That's the quickest and easiest way to do it. And then we just capture those numbers as we're going through our daily routine. We also have in the back of our food journal some helpful websites. Okay, so there's some different ones on here that are good websites. Most of them are free. Okay, so you can play with them and see which one that you like the best. It's an easy way to look up something you may not know the numbers for, or say, for example, if you go out to eat, you can look up those numbers. We also have one page now of some commonly eaten foods. So you can, if it's something that might be on here, it's easy to look it up, and then we can transfer those numbers over. Okay, so that is how to record your food in the food journal.